Fusion! Ha!
Whoa, it worked! Behold! Val Strax! That's genius!
That's horrible!
I'm the Admiral!
Hello, my fellow hunters. Then today we're gonna be doing something a little bit silly, but also a lot of fun. Let's take two monsters, merge them into one, and see what shenanigans occur. Which pair of monsters do you think make the most ridiculous fusion? Well, let's start with the one alluded to, Basilgeuse and Val Strax. This, on the surface, seems the obvious choice, right? It's the two plain monsters, the jet and the bomber, becoming one. But I feel like Val Strax has little to gain from being basilified. I feel like when you look a little bit deeper, this one almost goes against itself. Maybe having it drop little dragon bombs as it jets about the arena, which would be amazing. Turn his dragon missiles up to 11 and have them absolutely rocketing towards you as they cascade in dragon fire cluster bombs. Oh my god, dragon fire cluster bomb missiles, yes please! And it looks absolutely badass. Thank you so much to Ellen for bringing my concepts to life. So, look, speed-wise, Val Strax is very fast, I know. Shocking. And Basil is very slow. So, the resultant might just be a normal, kinda quick creature, and I don't think that's really the fair way to say this. I think we just have a Val Strax whose engine has been absolutely revved to maximum, an even faster one, spewing a mix of the crimson and the usual red flames, his body glowing as his silver scales are reinforced with the shock-absorbing biology, and essentially it would turn his dive bomb into something apocalyptic. Not only would he be faster, but he has way more pure explosive power to ignite with the dragon, and I kinda see this happening from his Round the World. Past that, I mean, I think it would enhance his physicals, because again, he's going faster, and look, I just see it as a Val Strax being tuned up, and then made to look amazing with the flaming lines glowing through him in this combination of dragon and fire, the perfect dragon fire dragon. That's my number 5 here, because I do think it has its flaws too. Number 4, you might judge me for, but I can't resist. Imagine taking Conchu and Bulldrome.
Why would you do that?
We have ourselves a armored, rolling, tusked bull Fanggo that can come hurtling at you at speeds never before seen, and then as he flies past you, if you somehow dodge it, can turn into his ball mode, quickly 180 and come back at you. None of the weaknesses of the charge, double the power, triple the velocity, and quadruple the fucking irritation of both of these horrible hellspawn. And that's what we need in our lives, right? Do you not need something that takes the very worst of Conchu and Bulldrome and puts them together? Hell, still keep, maybe just keep it as a small monster like Conchu is and just have loads of them everywhere. This, like, it's inherently a silly one, but again, I couldn't resist. Imagine an armored rolling fucking bull Fanggo / Drome coming at you. Maybe have its hooves develop the little stickly feet that insects have to do that. Essentially an all-terrain, super enhanced armored bull Fanggo. You think about that, an all-terrain, super enhanced armored volcano? Yes, an armored volcano! I need this in my life because I need to see how people would react to it. It's the true Dr. Evil creation, is this one, and it looks lovely. Alright, we're getting a little bit more serious now as we move to number 3, and this one, look, I am choosing here Devil Joe and Great Macau.
Hello!
And the reason for this, apart from him looking just super, like, look at that, look, he's got a carrot nose, he's got flaming feather hair, I mean, this is a fancy Joe, this is the Joe that you need in your life, but what inspired this little mutation is imagining Devil Joe with his pickled chunky tail doing the Great Macau's hanging back on his tail for kick attacks. Like, imagine seeing a Devil Joe in his colossal fury hop back on his tail, balance on it, and use it as a spring to attack you. Imagine someone teaching a Devil Joe fucking kickboxing. He could be a kickboxing dragon brute wyvern, like breathing his feet in it and then just scything them at you through the air. I think it would be just fantastic to imagine that occurring. Essentially, the base concept here then is a Devil Joe that is enhanced with the agility and precision of the Great Macau as he flips around the place using his body as the propulsion in the way that he does. So you have Devil Joe, because of his increased size, flinging all over backwards and forwards across the arena. That could be one of his attacks. You have to dodge multiple times as he just springs, lands, turn, tail, spring, lands, turn, tail, back and forth, just whoosh, past you as he's roaring all the way and maybe letting out Dragon 2 as a extra little bit of oomph. But I just love the idea, chiefly, of a Devil Joe fighting the same way a Great Macau does. It brings me no end of joy in my mind's eye, and it's something I want to see born. And hell, he could stay as the drone. There could be little Devil Macaus running around obeying his command and trying their best to surround you. And this is something I've actually wanted for a while. I want a monster that has insane power, ridiculous savagery, is a real tangible threat, but keep that kind of quirky silliness that you can get away with in the earlier, weaker monsters, because they are earlier, weaker monsters, and could be more of a one-note experience to breeze past. I think that would be a wonderful experience, and it's something that I would absolutely adore to see. In at number 2... okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I'm using more than 2 monsters here, alright? And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for number 1. It's one of my favorite things I've ever thought about. But in at number 2, what would happen if you fused the entirety of the Fated 4?
He's a madman! A madman!
Yeah, I love this interpretation of it. Look at it. The Gammoth is probably the least represented, though it does have the grey scales and the fur, but something with the combined agility and speed of Astalos, arguably the most agile flyer, Mizitsune, the most agile Leviathan, especially with the increased pace from sliding everywhere on bubbles, combining those together, having something ignite in electric flaring bubbles as it screams towards you in the air in its ice armor is just impressive as all hell to me. And because Mizitsune isn't strictly water, there's not a huge amount of countering going on here. Again, Gammoth doesn't add much. You could maybe throw in the tusk, maybe throw in the trunk and have essentially an extra limb for grasping and all of that, but you could get the tail here that still very much has to be a bladed sword and actually cover it in electricity and fire to mirror both Glavenus and Astalos and have its cutting power be absolutely obscene. Equally at home in the air and on the land, imagine an Astalos that's pouring out the same bubblage as a Mizitsune, but darting around you in the sky. That suddenly becomes a lot harder to deal with. Hell, the Gammoth contribution could just be size. It could be a fairly large creature. Glavenus is not tiny either, let's be honest, but still moving at ridiculous speeds with a just grace and agility you would not expect, thanks to the Astalos and Mizitsune. But I love the idea especially because the Fated 4 combined sounds like it's, well, fated to happen, like everyone putting in their power ring and becoming one fighter.
Let our powers combine. Earth, fire,
Wind, water.
and the fact that Mizutsune's bubble can be a vector for all of the elements to condense within. A frozen, flaming, electric bubble that's just ready for it. And don't be like, how could it be all frozen and flaming? Solcia has flaming bubbles. It's clearly something that they're capable of. And God, imagine a fusion between all of their deviants. But I think you would end up with something absolutely remarkable. Essentially, a actual Monster Hunter avatar that isn't named Alatreon. Though talking of Alatreon, here we get to my number one pick here, and it's one that just brings me true delight to ponder. Imagine taking a Nergigante and injecting it with, well, Alatreon. So you have that elemental instability coupled with the spike growing mechanic. So imagine fighting something as physically dominating as a Nergigante enhanced with a black dragon's raw strength. But as you fight him, his patches of spikes are growing, and they start glowing, and you don't know if you're going to get ice ones, you don't know if you're going to get electricity ones, you don't know if you're going to get fire ones, you don't know if you're going to get dragon ones. He has patches of crackling elements in the form of spikes, maybe pure fire just in the shape of his spikes, or maybe they still have the core of, well, the physical spike itself, and it's just coated and sheathed in the element. But either way, imagine a Nergigante where every single spike that protrudes from him is a different element, and when he dive bombs, it's a chaotic storm of every single one spilling out in each direction as the sparks and spikes fly through the air, colliding off each other and turning into a whirlwind of everything but water, because as we all know, water is the worst element. And this way, he doesn't even have to have phases. Honestly, you could just have Nergigante fighting normally with his spikes just reacting as they would while coated in the element. You don't even need to have that much Alatreon going on here. But his ultimate attack, as I said, would become absolutely catastrophic and so ridiculously good to look at. And depending on which spikes grow, you could have a different interaction. Fire spikes could slowly drain health like the Teostra aura. Dragon spikes could inflict you with the blight if you hit it. All of them could inflict you with the blight. His electrical spikes could have a chance to paralyze you as you hit them. The frozen spikes either ice blight or make them even extra tough beyond even black spikes as they harden to. And that's the thing, they could grow in and just start with the element, little traces of it, and instead of hardening to black, that's when they ignite in what it should be, as the veins at the surface start glowing in the appropriate colors. Prismatic, beautiful, but terrifying. Oh god, what a creation. It would totally still be Black Dragon level, of course it would. Combining, well, the ultimate in physical, indomitable fighting powerhouse of an Elder Dragon in Nergigante with the ultimate elemental dragon in Alatreon, Black Dragon of Strength, having this perfect being of both force and firepower. That is something to fear, and it's something I would love to see rendered true. There is no doubt in my mind that Alatrigante could take Fatalis. Like, come on now, let's be real here. And look, I know this video is very much, let's just talk about cool hypotheticals and have fun. And you know what? Yeah, let's talk about cool hypotheticals and have fun. I want you guys to do it too. That is my 5. That's what I would love to see. I want to know which pair of monsters, or if you're going to be cheeky for them like I did, would make something truly amusing. I know Cotton's one was Dodo Gamma and Alamadur, just because he really wants a long Dodo Gamma.
Right.
Dalagama. But I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think mine would gain that I've not touched upon? What little unique selling points would they achieve? And please outline some of yours. I'd love to hear your designs here, because you guys truly are fantastically creative when it comes to these things. I hope this was a neat little concept to indulge in. Like if you had fun, subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon. Perhaps we'll do a sequel to this with some of your best ideas. Get them concepted so you can see them be born. A good boy.
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.